This is a 10-minute reset and warm-up session that is aimed at, one, developing a little bit more mobility for the thoracic spine, be able to feel ourselves with our shoulder blades, the scapula on the back ribs. And in order to do that, we'll create a little bit of stability and strengthening around the scapula. So have two blocks ready for this routine because it'll be really nice just to get a nice chest opener to start it off with. So how I like to set this up is by taking one of our blocks on its lowest setting and like the medium width there. So it won't be its widest and it won't be its narrowest width. And that's just going to come down on the ground, and you're going to arrange the other block on the medium setting. So that'll be on the, medium height and the widest width here. Then we're going to come down all the way onto our back. And I like to just come down onto the forearms first so that I can find my shoulder blades coming around that block, letting that block just be centered between them, helping them draw together. And then you might even notice, maybe your block that's set up on the medium setting needs a little adjusting. So lay here with the feet walked in and really let your chin tuck in towards the chest. You already should feel at least some sense of shoulder blades drawing together, feeling your tailbone root to your heels, feeling a drawing in and up of the core into that back line of the body. So take another really big breath in here. You want to get expansive, feel the sides of the ribs open up, feel from the top to the bottom, filling with air. And when you exhale, that sighs out and we get a little connection down and into the core. Take one more really full inhale here. And all the way out. And we'll actually go with about 3 more here. So all the way in. Fill it up, feel the sides of the ribs opening up, keep the palms facing up as you exhale. Draw this front line down into the back line. Just let this be this opening up for the chest. Another big inhale. And exhale. Got one more, and you are welcome to just lay here and to do this for longer. Feel free to pause the recording. And then we'll bring ourselves onto any side that feels comfortable. So we're just going to roll off of the blocks, get that block out from underneath the forehead there, and then take your other block and you can take it out from underneath the shoulders. Now we'll just do a little glute activation. So you can take that block on either the medium setting or the narrowest setting in between the legs, give a nice squeeze between these legs, and then we're going to lift that pelvis off the ground. So this bone structure that plugs into your hips right behind you, that is lifting up off the floor. We feel very much like a physical lift is happening here. And goal post your arms. We're just going to press into the feet and just get a little lift and lower the hips. So we do this in every single LYT yoga class as a way to create hip extension through activation of the glutes. Again, a lot of us have to sit for our everyday lives, just for work and stuff like that. So in order to get some space into that hip flexor position, which you can imagine seated position, it's nice and short. So we're getting some length into it, some heat into it, and we're using the glutes to fire that up. We'll take about 3 full breaths here. Again, breathe into the sides of the ribs. If goalposting the arms feels like a little bit much, you're welcome to, take the arms into more of like that capital T position, or just to keep the arms down by your side. And again, we'll take one more really full inhale. Keep the glutes working here. And exhale, we'll hold our hips up, extend the hands up to the ceiling. So you want to keep the low back long by rooting your tailbone, squeezing around that block a little bit more with those legs. You can release the left wrist and circle it a few times. Take that second hand, pull back, stretch it out. And we're just stretching this wrist here, creating just a little bit of preparation for the shoulder blades, getting them active as well. Release the right wrist, circle it a few times. Okay, remove the block from in between your legs and come all the way down. Think 1 vertebrae at a time, lowering to the floor here until you find your sacrum reconnected with that ground. And then from here, we'll take our legs long, but we're just going to bring ourselves around onto the right side, and you'll put your block on its medium height and longest length then bring your left knee, this top leg, on top of the block. So the leg on top is just resting on the knee. There's like this 90-degree bend in the hip. There's this 90-degree bend in the knee, and we can release either our right ear to our right shoulder, or if you wanted to have a block under your skull for this as well, that can work. And we're just going to do a little, banana peel and then alligator clap it shut. So the banana peel is just taking the left arm up the right arm, like how you peel open a banana. And then you bring that left arm back on top, like the clap of an alligator jaw. So you let it open up, take a big breath in, close it off. Big breath in and close it off. Let's take about 3 more. Number 2. And 1. Close it off. We'll take that back the other way. So we're just creating a little opening around the thoracic spine here. So left leg goes long, right knee on top, and it'll be long in front of us. Right knee is in front of the right hip. Again, it's like 90-degree bend in the right knee, 90-degree bend in the right hip. The right arm, again, kind of peels open on this left arm, and you just sort of let it open up the right side of the chest in this little alligator clapping it shut. So we reel it open in the chest with that little banana peel open. I like an inhale as I do that. Hopefully you'll feel a little bit, more ready to breathe. Let's get 2 more. Then we'll bring ourselves back through center, remove the block from underneath the skull, and then take your hands behind the head. So we're just going to do 6 of these little core moves just to fire up the core, get us more stable in the shoulder blades. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, gather together, lift up. So by gather together, we want to feel the belly button pull into the back line of the body, let the shoulder blades lift off the ground. See if you can relax your head into your hands a little bit and still stay lifted off the shoulders. Inhale, lower. Do 1 more just like that. Exhale and lift, gather together. So low ribs draw in. Again, you want to feel like the front line of the body is pulling into the back line of the body. That's what holds your shoulder blades up off the ground. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up, gather together. Shoulder blades lift and hover. Then take a little twist to the right. You want to twist to the right and stay off this right shoulder blade. Lift a little higher. Come back through center. Inhale, lower. Exhale and lift, gather together. Shoulder blades lift up. Take a little twist to the left. So come back through center. Inhale, lower. Exhale and lift, gather together. Twist to the right. Now we're going to stay up off our shoulder blades, but come back through center and twist to the left. Pull in a little deeper to your left rib. See if you can lift up a little higher off the left shoulder blade. Then come back through center. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lifts us up, gathers together. Shoulder blades come up off the ground. Take a little twist to the left. And then you'll come back through center, but stay up and then twist to the right. So you try to stay off that right shoulder blade. Come back through center. Inhale and lower. Then from here, let's come around on the hands and knees. So we're feeling a little fire in the core just to help get our shoulder blades stabilized on the back ribs. Now we're going to start it off in our quadruped. And one way that the blocks are going to help us here in this quadruped is to first notice where our shoulder blades are on the back ribs. So for a lot of us, a tendency is to round the back just because we tend to be in this rounded position anyway, working at the computer and all that. So we want to kind of soften the chest towards the floor just enough that you can feel those shoulder blades retract together. It's like this red cloth that I have at the top of this shirt here. I'm trying to draw those shoulder blades in towards the red cloth. They're not completely touching, but there is this sense of them gathering together, magnetizing onto the back ribs. With the exhale, you want to feel your front line draw up and in to support the back line of the body, that big lifting up and in. Another big inhale here. Notice if the head is out of alignment. So this is where we'll use the block. We can take that block behind your skull, behind your shoulders. It can be a little awkward to find at first, but get yourself some time to find it. And then you'll find that your skull, your shoulders in line with each other. This is going to help keep our shoulder blades on the back ribs. So now slide your left foot back from quadruped. You'll keep the toes on the ground and then slide your right foot back as well. Lower the knees. We want to feel these shoulder blades are on the back ribs. So as we lower just about an inch or two, you're going to bend your elbows. Don't let the head drop out. Press into the hands and still feel those shoulder blades are on the back ribs. So if we start to dome the back, we're going to feel that block start to tip towards our head. Our head is going to sink. We're going to keep the shoulder blades on the back ribs. Feel like you could dial your left hand out to the left and your right hand out to the right. They won't actually move, but as you bend the elbows just an inch, you'll feel the shoulder blades stabilize on the back ribs. You'll press up and straighten those elbows. Now just one more time, again, feel like you could dial right hand out to the right, left hand out to the right, left. And if that block starts to slide off of the skull, I might not be doing such a great job holding my own head in place. We all got things to work on. Bend those elbows, press in the palms and straighten. So let's lift the knees, slide the left foot in, slide the right knee in. And just for a moment here, you can sit back and just shake those wrists out, maybe roll them a few times. So again, that cue, feeling like your left hand could dial out to the left, your right hand could dial out to the right. Keep moving the wrists, but just explaining here, we're not actually moving the hands. What that does is it's creating this engagement, this corkscrewing sensation of the hand plugging into the ground, firing up those forearm muscles, getting into our tricep, and then connecting our shoulder blade onto the back ribs. So one more time here, let's bring one block behind our skull and between those shoulders. The other block, since we have it, we're going to bring it to just its highest height here in between the hands. So once again, tuck the toes, feel an exhale, lifts the front line of the body into the back line of the body, right leg slides back, then the left leg slides back. We can try keeping the knees off the ground here. Feel free to have those knees on the ground. So another inhale here, every knuckle of your hand. So where your fingers plug into your hand, get all of them connected to the ground and then bend the elbows. Just a little tap on the block, press and straighten. We're going to keep the shoulder blades on the back ribs here. Bend the elbows, glutes are working like 50% here. They're not on 100, but we press in the hands, straighten the elbows, and they're holding our pelvis up. Throat stays lifted in towards that block that's behind you. Bend the elbows, a little tap, press and lift, shoulder blades still on the back ribs. Right knee comes down, left knee comes down. Remove the block. And then we'll take that little spinal articulation here, cat-cow. So pull back with the hands, feel your shoulder blades draw into the back ribs, lift your tailbone and lift your gaze. So this is a full spinal extension. We want to inhale on that. Exhale, push in the hands, spread your shoulder blades and root your tailbone down, release the neck, tuck the chin in, full spinal flexion. Let's go about 5 more. Inhale, draw back with the hands, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze. Exhale, you push into your hands, you feel your shoulder blades spread very much on purpose here. Root the tailbone down to the ground, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Pull back with the hands, big inhale. Draws back on the shoulder blades, lifts the front line and the back line. Exhale, push in those hands, spreads the shoulder blades, roots the tailbone. We'll get another pull through. Big inhale, brings the chest all the way through. Keep the elbows straight here as you press in the hands. That's going to help you spread the shoulder blades even more. Get more space between the heart as you root your tailbone down to the ground. And let's go one more. Inhale, pull through. Full extension. Exhale, push and spread. You are welcome to do more of these, but we'll find our neutral position. And then from here, you're going to slide your left foot back again. Remove the block if it's in between the hands. Slide the right foot back. Check in with the shoulder blades. Notice if they're doming out a lot, let them soften onto the back ribs. Again, feel like you could dial your right hand out to the left, right to left hand out to the left. Option to lower the knees or lower all the way to the ground. Scapula stay in place as we go with that. And then finishing it up here, we're going to keep our right hand on the ground, keep our left hand on the ground. Again, feel like your right hand could dial out to the right, your left hand could dial out to the left. So this first move here, we'll bring our forehead all the way down on the ground, root our tailbone with a big inhale, fill up your whole back. Exhale, lift your belly button up and into the back line of the body and pull back the hands in this little spinal extension, really drawing your shoulder blades onto the back ribs and not letting those arm bones sink into the floor. Big breath in here, so forehead is down, neck is long. As we exhale, press and pull. Shoulder blades draw back and down. Another big inhale here. Exhale, a little pull and rooting of the tailbone down towards the heels, shoulder blades, and awesome. And now you release that. So now we have a little more heat, a little more stimulation around these shoulders. We're going to bring our arms into a goalpost position. So we're just going to go through each of these drills 2 times, but know that you can always increase how long you're holding this for, as well as how many of these you are doing. So you could stick, you know, with like the little 10-second holds that we'll be working here. But over time, we do want to build a little bit more range of motion, showing you 3 great options here to stabilize the shoulders, work a little more stability, a little bit more chest opener. So we're on our stomachs. I like to tuck my toes just to really help me root my tailbone and get that sense of engaging and lengthening the low back. Both my arms are in a goalpost position here. And with my arms in a goalpost, I'm going to be squeezing my shoulder blades together. That's what's going to bring my forearms up off the ground. So forehead will be down to start. Take a really big inhale. Fill up your whole back like a big balloon. Exhale, lift the front line of the body into the back line of the body and gather that belly button up and into the back line. Then hover those forearms up off the ground. So we're going to keep them hovering off the ground. I'm going to squeeze in at those shoulder blades. Notice if your fists are starting to travel down towards the floor, don't let it happen. Almost like you could externally rotate those arms. One more big breath here. Fill up your whole back. Stay for the exhale. Lift the front line into the back line. Squeeze your shoulder blades together more. And then bring those forearms down. Just take one full inhale and exhale here. Next big inhale, let's lift those forearms up off the ground. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Exhale, feel the front line of the body, pull into the back line of the body. Again, we're trying to keep these fists lifted away from the floor. Forearms are off the ground. We don't want to let them touch. One more big inhale here. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Stay for the exhale. Forearms come all the way down. So now we're going to move our arms into an above head like V position. So I'm not quite like all the way in, like I was, doing like a handstand or something on my stomach, but my arms are just a little bit wider than my torso here. So pinky edge sides of the hands are facing down and on the ground, and my palms are facing together. In fact, I'll give you a slightly different angle at this one. So from here, have the forehead down. Big inhale, fill up the whole back. Exhale, we're going to root that tailbone towards the heels, lift those arms up off the ground. So we have these arms lifted just enough that those pinkies aren't touching, and you can keep your forehead down. We're going to keep these shoulder blades hugging onto the back ribs. Big breath in here, fill up your whole back. And exhale, stay and draw that front line into the back line. And lower those pinkies down. So I'll change myself back to that original position, but you get the idea. We are keeping those lifted. We are really squeezing those shoulder blades in and working them. One more big breath here. Exhale. So we'll lift these pinkies up off the ground, shoulder blades squeeze together. Really, really nice. You want to lift the front line of the body into the back line with every exhale. You want to inhale, root your tailbone towards your heels and lengthen. Another big inhale and exhale. Arms come down. Really awesome here. So this last one, we're just going to do it one time, and it's a little combo move. We're going to bring our arms from this goalpost to a little reach overhead into that V. And we're just going to do it 5 times here. So start off with the forehead down, toes are tucked. One more big inhale and exhale. Lift the front line and the back line, then hover those forearms up off the ground. So start off in the goalpost position, then reach your arms forward for that V, and then bring them back down to goalpost, elbows in line with the shoulders. So reach the arms up and overhead, make that V, and then pull those arms back, goalpost. Reach it overhead, feel that V, little movement of the scapula, draw back together, keep those forearms off the ground. 2 more, reach it forward, keep that support of the front line of the body, pulling into the back line of the body. Tailbone roots with the inhale, reach the arms overhead, exhale, draw that front line up and in, shoulder blades squeeze together. Oh, lower those forearms on down. Woo. Hands come back by your side. And again, feel like your left hand could dial out to the left, your right hand could dial out to the right. So we're coming back up to a plank with a push-up, and then we'll walk our knees on in. Last move we'll do here will just be a little kneeling lunge. This is always a great way to reset the spine. Step your right foot forward and then rise up. We'll bring our hands behind our head, and we're going to open up the arms with the hands tied behind our skull. So I've got my arms nice and open, elbows apart. Big breath in here with the big spinal extension. Left glute is working. Exhale, root the tailbone and draw the elbows in. You can tuck that chin in towards the chest. So big inhale opens us up, peels the chest open. Exhale, brings the elbows in and domes just that upper back. So really just aiming your upper back. One more big inhale here. Left glute is working here. And then lastly, exhale, you'll bring it back together, just like cat-cow. We're doming the upper back, rooting the tailbone. Bring it open. Hands come down. You can stay on the fingertips just to lower the right knee and then step that left foot forward. So again, we want to rise up to 90-90 low lunge. Hands can come behind my head, interlace the fingers, just give you, again, slightly different angle. So elbows are open, nice and wide here. I'm extending the back a little and then exhaling, rooting the tailbone, drawing the elbows in and spreading the space between your shoulder blades. Not pulling on your neck at all. Inhale, open up. Really, the hands are actually reminding our neck to extend here in this long position. Exhale, getting a little rounding on purpose to this upper back, getting a little doming into it. One more time, inhale, open. Right glute is working, it helps you lean it back. Exhale, close it off, feel the shoulder blades spread. And then as you open it up, your arms down by your side, just lower your left knee next to your right knee, and we'll roll our shoulder blades back one at a time. So I just want you to actually feel each shoulder blade one at a time moving behind you. This one's really good to do just for about 3 breaths or so, and really take the time to go backwards and to go one at a time. All right, and then again, after about 3 breaths or so, feel free to do that one for longer. You can come on down, maybe even lay back down on the ground and kind of get that reassessment of the shoulder blades back behind you. Then that way, when you roll yourself over to one side, get yourself up and ready to go, hopefully you'll be feeling just a little bit more connected in the shoulders. Again, scapula sitting on the back ribs just helps us keep this skull in line, helps us find this whole balance from the hips up to the shoulders and then through there too in the skull, so that neck, that low back, all those areas can feel spacious and supported. All right, get after it. And I hope that spine feels a little more free for you now.